Hey yogi, welcome to class. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rhi, this is Burley, and if you are returning, welcome back. It is sick to have you back with us on YouTube. Before we jump into the practice, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. It just helps Burls and I to grow the channel. And if you get to the end of the practice and you enjoy it, give the video a like and leave us a comment. Let us know how you got on. You're not going to need anything for this vinyasa practice except yourself and a space to practice in. We're going to move a little bit off the edges of the mat today. So have a little bit of space either side and in front of you, just so that you can explore those movements. And let's get started. So meet me at the back of your mat, sitting in a virasana or Vajrasana, so you can come to sit the butt onto the heels. You could sit the butt in between the heels if that feels better. Of course, if you know you like to elevate your seat by sitting on a block, pop the block in between your ankles and then sit down onto it. I always say this, but just allow your hands to rub gently up and down your thighs, just to kind of start to feel that physical connection between you and you. Sometimes we can be all up here. And I think the best thing for me about the asana practice is the ability to be more down here, be more into the body and feeling intuitively. So I like to start with the hands on the thighs in this pose, just to really allow me to really feel that connection back between, myself. Have a couple of rubs up and down the thighs just to kind of figure out where your hands are going to nicely rest onto your thighs, and then bring them to a little bit of stillness. I like to have the palms down for grounding energy, or turning them up for more kind of, if you're looking for something from the universe, you're looking for a little bit of maybe inspiration for your practice. If it feels nice, gently close the eyes. If closing the eyes just isn't your vibe, then take a soft gaze, maybe look down towards the palms. Try to remove some of the physical and visual distractions that, we always have. So if you are keeping your gaze soft, try to forget about what you're looking at. And then from here, lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then just send them back and down, encouraging them to kind of sit where they should naturally be. We often sit very rounded, so it's nice to kind of send them backwards a little bit. Sitting up nice and tall, elongating the spine. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Imagine that inhale could travel right down into your basement. If you think of our bodies as houses, imagine it being right down that breath into the toes, the basement of your building. And then exhale, allow that air to travel, that breath to come all the way up the floors and out through the nose. On your next inhale, imagine that inhale is targeting your first floor, where your chest, your heart is, all the good stuff, nourishing you there, bringing some life into these spaces. And as you exhale, visualize that breath leaving you, going all the way up towards your top floor to leave through your nose. Last one of these, deep inhale. Imagine it come in through your very top floor, your attic, moving all the way through your first floor where your kitchen and your lounge is, and then down into your basement where your toes, your ankles, your knees, and your sit bones are. And then exhale, let that breath journey all the way back up and then back out through your nose. Nice. If you like to set an intention for your practice, then now is a great time to do so. If your eyes are closed or the gaze is soft, gently blink them open and lift the gaze. As you inhale, sweep your arms up. As you do so, I want you to think about reaching as far wide and as high as you can, so that you're reaching as far as your fingertips, your shoulders, your arms will possibly allow. And then exhale, sweep it back down. Turn the palms down. Imagine you're pushing something through the air. Flip the palms, inhale, sweep up, really reach here, squeeze the shoulders together and up as you do. Turn the palms, exhale, fold down with the arms. Nice, inhale, sweep it up. Turn the palms, exhale, sweep it down. Inhale, sweep it up. Drishti follows the fingertips. As you exhale, pull your elbows down towards your hips, creating a cactus-like shape here with the arms. And then inhale again to just crank the chest a little bit. I want you to think like you could really pull your elbows up towards your ceiling, the backs of your palms tracking back. Exhale, pull the hands down, send them behind you. Inhale, crank everything so that the shoulder blades come together. Lift the chest, lift the heart, drishti rising. Exhale, start to send the shoulders the other way. The palms are now going to face the back of the room. Inhale, crank the heart, lift, 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 lift. Backs of the palms now facing the back of the mat, or towards Burley for me. And then exhale, turn. Just getting a little bit of rotation there through the shoulders. Last one of these. Inhale, open up, open up, open up, lift the chest. And then exhale, turn it down, crank through the arms, release that. Bring your fingertips behind you, and then inhale, lift yourself up and off yourself or your block. Doesn't need to be super big here, we're just trying to lift up and explore and find some space through the front body. Exhale, release. Come forward, come find yourself onto all fours. I like to tuck the toes here in my tabletop, that's personal preference. And be a little bit exploratory here, so feel like you could just lift and paw the ground, a little bit like, you know, a cat does, you know, when they come and sit on your lap and they just start pawing to try and make you feel a little bit more comfortable before they choose to honor you with their presence. I always think about cats. Bills will come and sit on my lap no matter what. But a cat, I always think, needs maybe a little bit of... Well, I don't even think they can be coaxed. I think it's all or nothing on their time. Anyway, it's totally irrelevant. But the point is just sway from side to side so you get weight into your hands and then really just paw the ground. Just getting a little bit of movement into the shoulders, into the hands, a little bit of movement in the fingertips. And then maybe start to just flip the palms around, turning them as much as they'll go, lifting and lowering, and then turning them the other way. We're just trying to wake up the wrists here, wake up the hands. Then bring the hands back underneath you. Start to circle the shoulders over the wrists, a little bit more of a traditional warm-up there, or here, I should say. Take the circles in both directions, moving east and west, north and south, west and east, south and north. Just moving around, swiveling around. Imagining that kind of house-like analogy. Maybe if you've got your toes tucked, maybe you're also just trying to like flush out the basement. Just trying to get a little bit of attention down there. We often neglect, I think, our feet and our ankles. Certainly a little bit in a yoga practice. So get a little bit of sensation down there. Maybe rock forwards and back. You may even want to lift and lower the knees as you do so. Just getting a little bit of movement in. From here, come to stillness. Let's take our cat-cows. So as you inhale, your belly will drop. Really think about rolling through the spine to lift the gaze, pulling the chest through the arms, and then exhale, pushing it away. Angry cat pose, chin to chest. Inhale, pull through, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale. Back to cat. Come into the center, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Find Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk your dog out a little bit. It's going to be a little bit too narrow coming from tabletop. So find a nice distance with your dog. And allow this to just be a little bit of a stretch here. A little bit of swaying from side to side. Lucky for me, I get to look at beautiful Burley, who looks very peaceful there. Resting. Let your head hang, let the tongue just move around in your jaw. Really grip through the fingers as you push through the hands, trying to find some nice elongation from your hip points right at the top of the apex, all the way down to your fingertips. Let's roll through a few awakening vinyasas. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Inhale, roll through, come into high plank pose. Bring everything with you. Draw the midline to the center. Exhale, drop the knees, and then push the chest to the ground, push back away. Then send the butt backwards, drop the forearms, look forward. As you inhale, pull yourself through your body. You have to lift your elbows here, but keep dragging the body through the arms. Come into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, push off the toes, roll through your spine. Keep the knees lifted or drop them, but we exhale for the push-up. Then drop the knees, send the weight back, drop the forearms, look long, and inhale through to upward facing dog. Wave it back. Downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees deeply, roll through your spine. Take your time here. Look long as you exhale, lower and rise. Drop your knees. Send the weight back, drop your forearms, look forward. As you inhale, the inhale pulls you through into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg will seek the sky. Exhale, right foot journeys outside your right hand. Drop your left knee down. Inhale, take a twist to the right. But I want you to think about keeping the hips square here. So really think about turning from the middle of your back, the middle of your house. Exhale. Right hand to the mat. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your hips nice and high. You can pull the right toes back towards your right shin if that feels good for a modified pyramid. The left heel does not need to seek the ground. Rebend your right knee, plant your right foot. Big step up, left foot will go outside of your left hand. Deeply bend the knees. Inhale, rise into an active squat. Exhale to stand. As you do, draw your hands in. Inhale, send your arms up, your drishti will follow. Exhale, hands back through the middle, come into active squat. As you inhale, the hands reach the mat. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, come to downward facing dog. Left leg will rise, 3-leg dog. Take it up nice and high here. And then as you exhale, left foot will journey outside of your left hand. Drop your right knee. Inhale, think about that twist coming from the very middle of you as you twist your lizard, opening up, really reaching through your left fingers. Exhale, your left hand seeks the mat. Tuck your back toes under. Work to lift your hips high, maybe pulling the left toes back towards you. Modified pyramid. Inhale, replant. Rebend the left knee, plant the left foot. Big step here, right foot outside of your right hand. Bend both knees. Inhale, rise into active squat, arms reaching into your potential. Exhale to stand into the present. Inhale, reach the arms up. Your drishti will follow for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back down into your active squat. Think about sending your knees nice and wide here. Inhale, hands to the mat. This time the right leg will go back, then the left. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, ripple forward, high plank pose. On your exhale, lower and rise for your push-up. Drop your knees, send your butt back, drop your forearms. As you inhale, that inhale sends you through into upward facing dog. Press the tops of your feet into the mat strongly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice stuff. From downward facing dog, look long, lift heels, bend knees, step or jump feet outside hands. Coming into your active squat, you can take your time here if you want to get a little bit of hang time in the jump forward. Land lightly. Inhale to active squat. From here, lift your right heel nice and high off the ground. Try not to let anything else move. As you exhale, let your right heel land. Inhale, left heel rises high off the ground. Exhale, lift, drop your left heel. Inhale, lift both heels. Feel the wobbles. Try not to let your hips or your head lift. Exhale, active squat. Come to stand, bring your hands in. Inhale, seek the hands high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands back down to active squat. Inhale, left heel will rise. Drop it down. Inhale, right heel will rise. Drop it down. Inhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back, high plank pose. Lower and rise for your vinyasa. Inhaling on the pull through, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat, lift heels, bend knees. On your exhale, step or jump, feet outside hands. Make that a slow process if you would like. Maybe take a couple of jumps here, and then feet will land nice and gently. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, stay in active squat. Inhale, lift your right heel. Turn towards the right, drop the left knee down and push the knees forward. Come back to center, inhale. From here, drop the right heel, lift the left heel, turn to the left. Drop your right knee down, push the knee forward, push the hips low. Exhale, come back to the center, drop both heels. Active squat, come to stand as you exhale. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back to active squat. Inhale, hands to the mat, look long, step or jump back. And vinyasa. Dropping the knees and forearms to pull you into upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, wave it back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful, no pause here. Lift heels, bend knees. As you exhale, step or jump your feet outside your hands. If you're jumping, try and make it light. Try and control the lower. Inhale to rise into your active squat. Lift your right heel. Lift your left heel. Turn to the left. The right knee will drop down as you send everything forward. Come back to center, drop your left heel. Inhale to the right heel will lift. Turn to the right, drop your left knee, lean the knee forward. You want to challenge the ankle here. Think low lunge with the knee going forward. Exhale back to center. Both heels will land. Inhale in the middle. Exhale to stand. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, active squat. Inhale, hands to the mat. Look long, step or jump back. Take your vinyasa. Pull through into upward facing dog. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Push the hands into the mat. And then exhale. Downward facing dog. Nice job, yogis. One more of these. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale, feet will land outside the hands. Be mindful if you're stepping. Be light if you're jumping. Take a couple of jumps if the first one doesn't go. That happens to me lots. And then inhale, active squat. From here, come to stand. Bring it up. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back to active squat. Inhale, hands to the mat, look long, step or jump back. Take your vinyasa. Pulling into your upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here, roll forward in on your inhale to high plank pose. We'll lower for a count of 10, so drop the knees if you'd like. Lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Push back up on 1 and lower all the way down. Beautiful. From here, your left arm will go nice and long, coming straight out of the socket. Push off your right hand, roll onto your left hip, letting your right toes seek something behind you. Maybe they come all the way to touch your left hand. If you'd like to intensify this a little bit more, press your left hand into the mat. Try and look to the right, not down. Just keeping your spine or your neck in line. Slowly roll back to the middle, left hand underneath you. Your right hand goes straight out of the socket into a T and roll over onto the side, watching whatever you're knocking. If you're like me, I just knocked my plant. The left toes can just come all the way over, or you can try and crank them up towards your right fingertips. For a little bit extra stretch, press into your right palm. Ooh, I feel that so much across the front of the shoulder. I hope it's a good stretch for you too. Slowly roll back to the center. Allow your hands to come into the 10 to 2 position. Let your forehead seek the mat. Press the tops of your feet strongly into your mat. Setting up for oscillating cobra. As you inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together to pick up your heart, pick up your chest, and lift your gaze. Exhale, wave it back, all the way down. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. This time roll to the right, lift all the way up, look over the right shoulder, look over the left shoulder as you exhale to bow down, back to the ground. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, roll to the left, come all the way up the left, look across the left shoulder, then turn to look across the right shoulder, exhale down the right side. One up the middle, inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Imagine that there's a pencil or a can of Coke in between the shoulder blades. You're trying to squeeze it to bring them together, nice and retracted. And then slowly lower, all the way down. Allow your hands to come alongside your body. Setting up for Shalabhasana, locust pose. So palms are flat to the mat, pinky fingers pointing inwards. As you inhale, same cue, you're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, rolling them up and back, lifting the legs, the feet, the chest, the heart, the gaze. Coming into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Keep the neck long, so don't worry about looking. Look with your eyeballs, I would say, rather than your head, so that you keep the spine nice and long, but also allow it to be really active and lift, using all of the back muscles to lift you here. And then slowly lower down. Allow the head to go to one side or the other. Resist the urge to fidget. We'll do that again. So deep inhale. This time you can clasp the hands behind the back for the bind if you would like. Squeeze the shoulders together. Send the knuckles away from you. Lift the feet. Maybe you bend the knees to allow your feet to try to catch for your knuckles to skim your feet, using that to lift your chest. Nice big inhale here, be buoyant, lift up. And exhale, let it go, release the bind. Nice job. From here, the hands will come underneath you, push back to child's pose. Balasana. Hopefully feeling like we're trying to wake up the back body, feeling some energy whirling around you, all the way down into the toes. Stay here. This is a lovely place for a little bit of rest, or if you'd like some reintegration, come into dolphin, or traditional headstand Shirshasana, which is bound, or maybe Pincha Mayurasana, if that's what you're working with. Wherever you go, set up, opposite hand, opposite elbow, and then let's go for it, yogi. I'm going to move into my Pincha, so feel free to choose anything that is calling you. Wherever you go, really push the shoulders into, or push the forearms into the earth to lift the shoulders. Be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly make your way home on 1. Sit back to the heels. My t-shirt was in my mouth the whole time I was trying to speak there, so if it was muffly, I'm sorry. Have a couple of moments here just to bring your head back upright. If you were in the dolphin, that can be so much on the shoulders. Just have a couple of breaths here. Maybe visualizing again that breath coming in, coming all the way through all 3 floors of the house, right into the basement, into the toes, into the tops of the feet. And then exhale, collecting any of the dirt and the dust that's no longer required in your house and just letting it go. Beautiful. From here, your hands will come forward, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Nice. From here, look long, lift heels, bend knees. As you exhale, step or jump, feet outside, hands back into active squat. You rise. From here, lean as you exhale over your right knee, come into crouching warrior. Drop your left hip down, bend your right knee deeply. Exhale, straighten to traditional warrior 3. Inhale, slowly let the left toes go behind you. It'll probably be off your mat. Reach your arms up. As you exhale, hands behind the nape of the neck, really zip the forearms into the head, lean the head back. And then as you inhale, maybe you open your arms, but try and keep the wrap of the tricep. Exhale, back to the center. Come into crouching warrior. Lift the leg nice and high. Then bend the left knee. Step the left toes outside of the mat, back into active squat. Exhale to stand. Inhale, reaching it high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back down to active squat. Inhale, hands to the mat, look long, step or jump. Vinyasa. And pushing back. Downward facing dog. Mixing the awakening A and the awakening B's here. Look long, inhale, lift heels, bend knees. Exhale, feet outside of hands. Try and control your landing. If you're stepping, definitely control your landing. Sometimes when you're jumping, it just comes out of your, goes into the universe and it just what happens. But if you're stepping, make it light. Inhale here. Exhale, lean over your left leg. Bend your left knee deeply. Inhale to crouching warrior. Exhale, traditional warrior 3. Straighten the left leg as you drop the right hip down to square the hips. Inhale, bend the left knee. How slowly can the right toe seek the, I was going to say the mat behind you, but the ground behind you. Rise up into high lunge. Exhale, the hands meet behind the nape of the neck. As you do so, really wrap the triceps. So zip the triceps up around the outside of your head. Lean your head into them. Exhale, lift the chest. Lift the heart. Try and lift from the middle of your spine. Exhale, hands pull back through. Come back into crouching warrior. Try to drag yourself there. Then from here, bend your right knee so that your right toes can land back into active squat. Inhale. Exhale to stand. Inhale, send your hands and your drishti high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back into active squat. Inhale, hands to the mat, look long. Exhale, step or jump into your vinyasa. Exhale, wave it back. Downward facing dog. Look long, lift heels, bend knees. Exhale, step or jump. Feet outside, hands. We're trying to be mindful. Whichever way we go, feet land. Inhale to active squat. Exhale, lean over the left leg this time. Come into your crouching warrior. Drop your right hip. Exhale, straighten to warrior 3. Inhale, slowly bend the left knee. The right toes go behind you. Rise up into high lunge. As you exhale, hands meet behind the nape of the neck. Zip the forearms in, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the chest and heart. Open it up. Inhale, hands back through to the chest. Lean over your left leg. Drag yourself back into crouching warrior. Bend your right knee and gently step your right toes back to the center. Inhale to active squat. Exhale to stand. Inhale, send your hands high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back to active squat. Inhale, your hands seek the mat, look long. Exhale, step or jump back to Vinyasa. Wave it back, downward facing dog. Last time here, yogis, lift heels, bend knees. As you exhale, step or jump your feet outside your hands. Maybe this one you hang for a little bit longer if you're jumping. And slowly, feet outside of thumbs. Inhale, active squat, lean over the right leg, bend your right knee, come to crouching warrior. Exhale, traditional warrior 3. Inhale, let the left toes gently land behind you. Rise up into high lunge. Exhale, hands meet behind the nape of the neck, zip everything in. Then send your head into your hands, lift your chest. Exhale as you open up the arms maybe. Inhale back through to crouching warrior over the right leg. Drop your left hip. Bend your left knee. Left toes outside the mat. Inhale, active squat. Exhale to stand. Inhale, send your hands high. Exhale, back down to active squat. Inhale, your hands seek the mat, look long. Exhale, step or jump back to Vinyasa. Push back. Downward facing dog. Awesome job, yogis. We've got a 10 count journey to take us to the top of the mat. So you could mindfully keep your legs as straight as you can, arms straight, and walk the feet to the top of the mat. You could take maybe 3 hops of a handstand hop to the top of the mat, or maybe just a practice of your hops in general, because you're going to have a little bit of time. Or you can take any handstand variation, but basically we're all going to make our way to the top of the mat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, your feet land, top of the mat. Take your heels as wide as your hips. From here, deeply bend your knees. Inhale, come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Sending the arms out of your peripheral vision, really testing the ankle again here. We've worked on the feet quite a bit, coming into the toes. Let's see if we can now find a little bit of space in the ankle to go a bit deeper. From here, reach the arms up. Hold here. Find some symmetry. We've gone left to right, right to left, heels lifted, one up, one down. Just find equilibrium, something that simulates symmetry, even though we're always a bit unsymmetrical. Inhale to stand, bring your hands into the center of the chest. Exhale, allow your hands to come alongside your body, Tadasana. Close the eyes. Feel that symmetry, or that play for symmetry. And what by that I mean, we are never symmetrical. We're all pretty asymmetrical. You know, most of us are either left-handed or right-handed, left-footed or right-footed. So we're always working with a level of asymmetry. But in this moment, see what it feels like to try and find some symmetry. See if you're standing more into one leg than the other. See if one palm is turned towards the top of the mat more than the other. If one shoulder is seeking forward more than the other. Try to, with small, minute adjustments that maybe only you can feel and they can't be seen, try to come to neutral. Try and bring that weight smack bang in the middle of you. Reaching from the crown of your head, standing tall. Visualizing an actual crown that you want to keep there. But at the same time, you want to keep your neck long. You want to tuck your tailbone slightly so that Everything is just in this beautiful long line. Notice any sensations. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat starting to come down. Maybe you can feel your breath starting to get a little quieter, a little softer. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, bend the knees and bow all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees, come up onto your tippy toes. Come into a toe stand. Just one last round of being in the feet, being in the toes. For this one, I want you to think about your shoulders stacking directly over your hips and your knees driving in towards your collarbones. Being tall here. Lift the heels a little bit higher just for one more inhale. And exhale, slowly let your heels seek the mat. Slowly let your butt drop and come onto your back. Roll down. Beautiful. Squeeze your knees in towards your chest if that feels good. We've done so many active squats, it might be nice here to take a half happy baby. So let your left leg go long. Bend your right knee into your chest, catch the outside of your right foot, and then lift your right foot up towards the ceiling, the sole of the foot tracking towards the ceiling. Imagine that you could really get your right knee into the right armpit. Use your right arm to help guide it down. At the same time, make sure your left hip stays grounded. We want to find grounding through our basement whilst we allow the right foot to just seek the sky. Take the right knee nice and wide if you can. That might feel nice. And it might also feel nice to just open and close your right leg, your right knee. Just getting a little bit of movement in there. A little bit of stretch. Next time you straighten your right leg, bring it into the center and just have a little bit of a stretch here. Allow the right hamstrings to feel nice and stretched. Maybe you want to take your right leg over to the left eye a little bit and just feel a different stretch sensation. Slowly bring your right leg back to neutral, bend your right knee and let it go long. Switching your legs. Left knee comes into your chest. Give it a squeeze, encourage it to come nice and tight, fully compress in the hip there. And then take the outside of your left foot, catch it with your left hand and really kick the sole of the foot up. At the same time, use the same amount of force to pull the foot down. So the foot's trying to get up to the ceiling, but your hand is saying, nah, no chance. It's an equal battle here. Keep pulling the right knee in towards, your left knee in towards your left armpit. And then take the hip wide. Open that hip a little bit. I like to put my right hand onto my right hip to just encourage it to stay level to the ground. It's easy for it to want to lift in these moments. So use something to counterbalance that. Maybe now you want to start to gently straighten. And it doesn't need to be all the way straight. Straight is relative. So if you can't straighten the leg when you're holding it, just go to where you can and then rebend. Just to have a little stretch here. The legs have worked pretty hard for us in this practice. So we just want to give them a little bit of a passive stretch out. Next time you straighten the left leg, bring it into neutral so it's kind of above your left eye. Once you've got it there, see if you can just pull your left shoulder back towards the earth. If you can't hold the foot with the leg straight, feel free to take your hands and clasp them behind your thigh. I should have said that on the right leg. Hopefully you guys already knew that and adjusted accordingly. Maybe you want to take the left leg over to the right eye a little bit, just to feel that outer lining of your left leg, get a bit of stretch sensation there. Breathe through it, kick through your left heel, pull down with your left hand or your left fingers, whatever's gripping your left foot. Slowly come back to neutral, bend your left knee and let it go long. Coming into Shavasana, any Shavasana that you would like. So if you need some time to grab some props and get yourself situated, please do. If it feels good, let the palms turn up to be in that receiving place, to receive the wisdom of the practice, to receive the wisdom within your own body. Sometimes, as I said at the beginning, sometimes we're very much in our heads and we're not very much in our bodies, and this is a lovely time to just allow your body to be heard. As always, we won't stay with you for Shavasana, but I invite you to have a good old Shavasana here. You definitely earned it, yogi. Until next time that we see each other on the mat, have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.